In 2007, thousands of American families lost their beloved pets in one of the most heartbreaking scandals of the decade. The cause? Contaminated pet food from China. But here's the shocking part: this wasn't just a one-time incident, it was just the tip of the iceberg. Today, I'm going to reveal 10 everyday products from China that could be slowly poisoning you and your family. Trust me, some of these will absolutely shock you. You probably have at least 3 of these items in your home right now. You might be thinking, come on, surely it can't be that bad. The government would never allow dangerous products to be sold here. That's exactly what I thought too. But wait until you hear about what independent laboratory tests have found in these products. The results are disturbing, to say the least. So let's dive into this list of the 10 most dangerous Chinese products you should never buy. I've ranked these based on scientific research, medical cases, and the potential harm they can cause. And yes, number 1 might actually surprise you. It's probably sitting in your kitchen right now: baby formula. Let me start with something that honestly breaks my heart. In 2008, over 300,000 Chinese babies were hospitalized after consuming contaminated formula. The manufacturers had added melamine, a chemical used in making plastic, to artificially boost protein levels. This wasn't just harmful, it was deadly. Dozens of infants lost their lives, and thousands more suffered permanent kidney damage. But here's the terrifying part: even today, Chinese baby formula continues to be a serious health risk. Recent tests have found dangerous levels of antibiotics, pesticides, and heavy metals in these products. Just last year, a New York hospital treated an 8-month-old baby with severe kidney damage from Chinese formula purchased online. Always choose trusted brands with international safety certifications, particularly from countries with strict regulations like Switzerland or New Zealand. Seafood: you might think you're making a healthy choice by adding more fish to your diet, but if it's from China, you could be doing more harm than good. Here's why: about 40% of Chinese seafood tested by the U.S. National Institute of Fisheries contained banned antibiotics like chloramphenicol. This stuff is so dangerous that it's been outlawed in most countries because it can cause severe allergic reactions and liver damage. But it gets worse. These fish farms are often located in heavily polluted areas where industrial runoff, loaded with mercury and lead, contaminates the water. These toxins accumulate in the fish and eventually end up in your body. In 2020, a Los Angeles woman suffered permanent neurological damage from eating contaminated Chinese shrimp. The solution? Choose seafood from places like Norway, Iceland, or Canada, where environmental standards are strictly enforced. Rice: this one shocked me because rice is such a basic staple food. But Chinese rice often contains dangerous levels of cadmium, a toxic heavy metal that accumulates in your body over time. A 2013 study found that 40% of rice tested in Guangdong, China, had cadmium levels far exceeding safe limits. Let me tell you about a real case that happened in Boston. A 51-year-old man came to the hospital with severe back pain and weakness. His cadmium levels were twice the safe limit, all from eating Chinese rice he bought because it was cheaper. The damage to his kidneys was permanent. Always check where your rice comes from. Japan, India, and Thailand are much safer options. Garlic: would you believe that China produces over 70% of the world's garlic? Here's the scary part: to make it look perfect and white, manufacturers often bleach it with chemicals like sulfur dioxide. This isn't just about appearance, these chemicals can cause severe allergic reactions and chronic respiratory problems. A man in San Diego learned this the hard way. After eating Chinese garlic daily, he developed chronic throat irritation and stomach problems. The chemical residues had caused ongoing inflammation in his body. The solution? Buy local garlic. Yes, it might have spots and look less perfect, but that's actually a good sign. It means it's natural and safe. Honey: this one's particularly deceptive because honey is supposed to be natural and healthy, right? Well, Chinese honey often contains illegal antibiotics like chloramphenicol, which can cause a potentially fatal condition called aplastic anemia. Even worse, many manufacturers cut their honey with corn syrup and add artificial flavors to mask the difference. The Mayo Clinic reported a case where a 50-year-old man developed serious blood disorders from consuming Chinese honey regularly. Want to test if your honey is real? Drop some in water. Genuine honey dissolves slowly without forming sediment, while fake honey mixes immediately. Olive oil. This might surprise you, but Chinese olive oil can be extremely dangerous. According to the U.S. National Laboratory for Nutrition and Health, about 70% of olive oil exported from China and sold as extra virgin doesn't meet basic standards. Many manufacturers dilute it with cheap vegetable oils and add chemical flavoring and colorants. A New York gastroenterologist treated a patient with toxic hepatitis caused by consuming Chinese olive oil bought during an online sale. The liver damage was severe. Stick to olive oil from countries known for quality production, like Spain, Italy, or Greece. Tea. A nice cup of tea seems harmless, right? Well, not if it's from China. A 2013 Greenpeace study found that out of 18 Chinese teas tested, 12 contained pesticide levels exceeding safe limits. These included banned substances like methimidofos and endosulfan, which can cause severe liver and kidney damage. A Chicago doctor treated a patient who'd been drinking cheap Chinese tea for 5 years. The result? Elevated lead levels in his blood and permanent liver damage. Choose teas from countries with strict quality standards, like Japan or Sri Lanka, instead. Dried fruits. Those bright, perfectly colored dried fruits might look appealing, but Chinese producers often achieve this using dangerous levels of sulfur dioxide. This chemical can trigger severe allergic reactions and has been linked to respiratory problems. A woman in Boston ended up in the emergency room with severe breathing difficulties after eating Chinese dried peaches. Laboratory tests showed extremely high sulfur dioxide levels in the fruit. Opt for naturally dried fruits from Turkey or the United States instead. Canned foods. Here's something that might be lurking in your pantry right now. Chinese canned foods often contain dangerous levels of BPA, bisphenol A, in their can linings. This chemical can leach into food and cause hormonal imbalances, infertility, and even cancer. A Chicago clinic treated a 54-year-old man with severe hormonal problems traced back to his regular consumption of Chinese canned vegetables. Choose BPA-free cans from countries with strict food safety regulations, or better yet, opt for fresh or frozen alternatives. Dairy products. And here's our number one most dangerous item: Chinese dairy products. After the infamous 2008 melamine scandal, you'd think things would have improved. But recent studies show that about 35% of Chinese dairy products still contain dangerous levels of antibiotics and growth hormones. These aren't just numbers, they represent real people affected by these products. A 3-year-old boy in San Francisco suffered kidney failure from drinking Chinese milk his relatives brought him. The damage was permanent. Always choose dairy products from countries known for their high standards, like Switzerland, New Zealand, or Canada. So what can you do to protect yourself and your family? Here are some key takeaways. First, always check the country of origin when shopping. Yes, it takes a few extra seconds, but it's worth it for your health. Second, be suspicious of unusually low prices. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Third, buy from reputable retailers who can verify their supply chain. Remember, this isn't about avoiding all Chinese products. China produces many high-quality goods. This is about being aware of specific high-risk items that could harm your health. Share this information with your friends and family. You might just help prevent someone from making a dangerous purchase. Before you go, let me know in the comments if you've ever encountered any of these products or if you have your own stories to share. Your experience could help others make better choices. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more eye-opening content about protecting your health and making informed consumer decisions. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.